In this series, we will explore a biblical theology of wealth. What do we mean by a theology of wealth? When we talk about wealth in the Bible, we essentially would like to see what the Bible says about it. Now, there are some challenges in looking at wealth in the Bible because people have diverse views. For example, there are some Christians who preach that if you have faith, God will bless you richly and you'll abound in riches. And if you are not rich, somehow you don't have faith. There are other Christians who look at the example of Jesus and essentially say if you don't live a life of poverty or near poverty, then you're not being a faithful Christian. And there are still others who try to take a middle road and look at the proverb and says, God, don't give me riches and don't give me poverty. The biblical text itself presents diverse views. And that's one of the reasons we have so much diversity among Christians today. For example, in Deuteronomy 2, chapter 1 through 4, God blesses people in very material ways with cattle and riches and wealth. Yet in James chapter 5, verses 1 through 6, the rich are cursed. How do we reconcile these conflicting views, or apparently conflicting views, about wealth in the Bible? Our approach will be limited. We can't look at all of the texts in the Bible, but we will do a survey of the material in the Old Testament as well as the New. And it will be contextual. We'll need to examine the texts in light of their context, not simply in their literary context, but in light of the entire historical context, including the economic presuppositions of the people in the world of the Bible. Every text has a context. The context includes the place of a passage in the larger literary whole. It also includes the worldview of the author. If we are going to get a handle on some of these broader issues, we need to explore many contextual questions. In general, the Old Testament has a rather positive view of wealth, and in general, the New Testament has a rather negative view of wealth. Why is that? These are some questions we will need to explore.